There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more. Never have our community heroes been more worthy of recognition than today, and Wendy's is here to show thanks for all they do with a free breakfast for a year giveaway. Starting Monday, November 15th through December 9th, we want you to nominate the individuals you feel have gone above and beyond. Just go to yourtotalmedia.com/community heroes and give us a line or two about why someone you know deserves free Wendy's breakfast for a year as part of Wendy's Thank You Thursdays campaign throughout this holiday season. That's right, our community heroes have the opportunity to win free breakfast for a year from Wendy's, which includes a delicious breakfast combo. We'll select a community hero every week on Thursday, and you'll hear their inspiring stories on the air. You can nominate anyone who's made an impact in our community. Wendy's wants to reward our dedicated and hardworking individuals because these heroes have kept our communities together and running. Make your nomination today at yourtotalmedia.com/community heroes, and Wendy's will be providing free breakfast for a year to those deserving individuals.
Christmas in My Mind. Presented for your Christmas time enjoyment by the D.M. Davis Vocal Choirs of Jackson. At the Marquet Cultural Arts Center, Main Street, Jackson, Ohio, on December 11th at 7 p.m. Admission is $5 online at marquetickets.org, or $7 the day of the concert.
Well, happy Friday, everyone! Happy Friday, everyone! And we're invisible again, Pete. They do that to us all the time.
Okay, I think that's a message. That's a message. They could be better off without us.
I know.
We'll
just let our guests do the show.
Why don't they just come out and say it?
If you don't want us here, it's okay.
That's right. That's right.
No, we're just kidding. Thank you, James. He always pushes the right buttons and gets us back, and he keeps us in line. Well, you fix it. It's not your fault. So we will give James the credit for that. But no, welcome to the show, everyone. Of course, Jennifer here to start off your Friday morning with our good friend Pete Wilson. And Pete has his news hat on for just like 1 second, but then we're making him talk about his fun vacation that he just got back from, because I feel like it's super interesting, and I think people would really love to hear about it. So we're putting you on the spot.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Yes, and then we have some really fun guests from the Marquet here, too, to talk about something. Is that tonight or tomorrow night? Tomorrow. Something cool going on tomorrow night?
I guarantee you it will be worth your time.
It definitely will be.
Been there before.
Yes,
right,
for sure. So Pete, but you do have just a hair of news to talk about while you're here. We don't ever let you get out without talking about something that you know.
Right. Well, just before we went on the air here, I was trying to confirm about an emergency situation going on at Vinton County High School.
Oh, no.
And once again, I'm speaking without direct information from law enforcement, but there is apparently, or was earlier, a lockdown at Vinton County High School due to a possible gun threat. That is the information that I'm receiving. It happened, the incident or the lockdown occurred sometime around 8 a.m. before, a little bit after. The last thing that I heard is, as far as my source knows, it's still going on. That's not from a law enforcement source. Of course, you know, they're busy and not talking right now.
Well, sure.
About that, we'll be following up. But this was from a reliable source within the school that this is going on. No reported injuries or any disasters such as that or tragedies. It's just a threat that the school and the school population has had to respond to. And I understand this involves Vinton County High School, of course, Vinton County Middle School, is right adjacent to the high school there on US 50, just on the west side of MacArthur.
Well, if anything happens, we'll keep you updated.
Obviously, we will be following that through all of our various news platforms.
Yes.
All right, and the only couple other things we wanted to tell you, we're going to hear about a great Christmas season event from Rick Noel and Deanna Stroth here just in a few minutes. But we wanted to tell you about a couple of other things just to remind you. Santa's Reindeer Christmas Party is going to take place tomorrow afternoon at Manpower Park.
What?
This is an extension of all the things that Barbie McCatherine and Cultivating Our Future do here in our community of Jackson involving Christmas. She is calling it Santa's Reindeer Christmas Party. It's scheduled from 3 to 5 p.m. Of course, it's open and free, and it's designed as a fun event for the kids. They will have an opportunity to make their own reindeer food, and there's a good reason to make reindeer food because there is going to be a reindeer there named Blitzen. How do you like that?
What?
A live reindeer named Blitzen will be there. Holzer Health System will be out there passing out mittens and toboggans. There'll be free cookies, thanks to Tiffany Boggs. Shauna Davis, who is with Infinity Insurance Solutions, they have an office here in downtown Jackson. They'll have free hot chocolate. So we know we have all those things going on. Supposedly there was plans for a balloon artist to be there as well, and that will be sponsored by our good friend Brad Munn and McDonald's of Jackson, Wellston, and Oak Hill. Members of the Jackson High School's Gay Straight Alliance will be offering free face painting, and there will be what is called reindeer games. I don't know what Barbie might have cooked up for that, but I think that Tanya Hatton, the HR person down at the city, is kind of deciding what those reindeer games are. And I know that she's planning on that. I talked to her a couple of weeks ago. So all that is taking place at the Manpower Park as part of Santa's Reindeer Christmas Party, 3 to 5 at Manpower Park. Apple City Artisans, I almost forgot, they're going to have crafts that are designed for the kids.
Oh, cool.
All right. And of course, we talked about those great Christmas tree displays in all of our towns, Jackson, Wellston, and Oak Hill. At the Ohilco Lights display in Wellston, where, I told you 135 trees. Believe it or not.
Can you believe that? I know.
135 there in
and
Pride,
they sold out just like that.
in Pride Park. And so the Ohilco Society has come up with another idea in which the public can participate. And it's really another reason to go see the trees and maybe take a closer look. People's Choice Award that you can vote for. There's a ballot box there. You drive by, you stop, walk through. Maybe might be the best way to see all the trees closely. There's a ballot box there. You vote for your favorite tree. You could that started on December 4th and will continue through, I guess, while Ohilco Lights will go on. And normally the tree lightings and decorations in our towns usually go through Christmas and into close to New Year's Day at least. So that's another way to that's another reason to go out and see the trees. You don't need a People's Choice contest to want to do that because it is very nice. A lot of people talk about the great display at Gallipolis, and it is something to see at the city park. Oh. But these displays locally, they've all just cropped up within the last several years, and they get a little bit more impressive every year.
They do.
Definitely worth a drive-by at the very least.
For sure.
So I'm on vacation mode again now. What do you want to know?
Very good. Well, number one. What do you want to know? Happy birthday, Pete Wilson.
Oh, no.
Pete Wilson's birthday!
Yeah, we've had a few of them already, so that's enough of that.
Well, you tried to sneak that through, and we busted you, so
okay.
Nice try.
All right.
Yeah. And you
that's
are,
tomorrow.
what, 29?
Correct.
Is it tomorrow?
Somebody said 40, and I took that. So.
Okay, we'll go with 40 then. It's really sad when you used to say 29 and everyone went, oh, and now I say 29 and they're like, and then I'm like 39 and they're like.
Well, you're forever dated because everybody knows that you were the horse queen in what 1992 and they
90 something one.
Yeah, they can figure it out.
That's right.
Because what
we haven't mentioned that.
Can
in
you
a
be
while.
horse queens when you're 5 years old?
Thanks, Pete.
Okay.
He's my favorite. But while we are talking about birthdays, so happy birthday to Pete tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jason Howell is 57 from Jackson, and he was turned in by the Honeybees.
Okay. All right.
And Katie Jones is 10 and turned in by Aunt Missy.
Okay. Well,
there
happy
you-
birthday to everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody. Yes.
Right. We're all in that bracket where you get an extra special birthday gift and it counts for Christmas.
I know. You kind of get the shaft when your birthday is close to Christmas, don't you?
I believe everybody when they say that. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
That's all right.
It's okay.
But no, so I asked you to come in today, and you and Pam went on kind of like one of those bucket list cruises here recently. And it's not a cruise like you think of. You get on the giant cruise ship and go like to the Caribbean. It was kind of a river cruise.
Right. It was,
so talk about that.
Sure. It was a riverboat cruise, and we have been on 1 or 2 oceanic cruises, and they're great too.
Sure.
But these are smaller boats, ships on the ocean, boats on the river, by the way.
Okay.
That's the nomenclature.
I didn't know that.
But this is however, this is not a little boat. This is the largest operating passenger steamboat in the world. And it is called the American Queen. It's part of American Queen Voyages company. They have a steamship line with 5 or 6 divisions, and they specialize in cruises on rivers and lakes in the United States and near. I think they go to some Canada and a little bit to the Caribbean too.
So cool.
The cruise that I went on, and actually it was a back-to-backer, meaning that it's normally 1 week, but you can do more than that.
Yes.
For logistical reasons, because we didn't want to fly, we wanted to drive. We went on a cruise that started in Memphis and went to New Orleans, and that was 1 week. And then the second week, the boat came back the same route, New Orleans to Memphis. Now, it didn't make it back to Memphis. That's another story. But that was the route, all right? So it was for us, it was a 2-week cruise. And we've done it a couple of times before, and we really like it. You don't have to travel as far. It's possible to do a driving as far as getting there and getting back, as opposed to flying. If you're going on an oceanic cruise, you're probably going to Florida or someplace.
Right.
So we drove to Memphis, which is a trip now. No, I'll admit that, but we made it. But the thing about the riverboat is they designed it after the old riverboats that were famous in the early 1900s.
So does it have like the big paddle wheel and stuff?
It has the big paddle wheel, and it's just not for show. People presume that that's just for show, but it actually is a steam-powered steamboat.
So it works.
It is a real steamboat. They have diesel power kind of as auxiliary or backup, supplementary, but it is mainly a steamboat, and that stern wheel that is going around and around, Proud Mary on the back. It is a real steamboat, and it's the biggest one they say in the world. So I'll take their word for it.
Well, of course,
right. But anyway, we started at Memphis, went down to New Orleans, able to tour both cities. Which if you haven't been to either one of them, both of them are definitely worth a vacation in and of themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
But along the way, we stopped at Vicksburg. Famous for its Civil War battle, but a wonderful river town in addition to that. Natchez, which is the oldest city on the Mississippi River, the lower Mississippi.
Cool.
Stopped there. And we stopped at Nottoway Plantation, where there is a plantation and several other large southern plantations there, which are worthy of touring. A place called St. Francisville, where it's in swamp territory, and there's plantations there not too far from New Orleans. So we stopped all those places. So it's kind of like a floating hotel. I mean, of course, they give you the great cuisine, of course, more than you would care to ever eat.
So is it set up kind of like the cruise ships?
Yeah, it kind of is. I felt very fortunate, and I tried to be a good boy, but I gained 4 pounds, and I consider myself I consider that a victory.
That's okay, Pete.
I consider that a victory. They have live on boat entertainment. They have a live show every night, and it is top notch entertainment, if I may say so. And then, of course, the big advantage is, especially if you're a sightseer, we're more sightseers than we are relaxers. A lot of people's idea of a vacation is to kick back, get in the recliner, be on the beach and sip whatever.
Right.
But for us, we like to see new places and meet new people and see things. And
because you have ants
and
in
you
your
can
pants.
and you can do the other type of vacation on the riverboat, but on the riverboat, almost every day you can get off at a new town. And
Does it have like a pool and stuff, or is it?
There is a small pool up on the upper thing. Of course, on the top floor. And they have a fitness center and all like that. So they do have a lot of amenities.
Yeah.
But it is very nice, a very nice ambiance.
Love that.
Just to give you an idea, you know how big some of the big oceanic cruises are.
Yeah.
This was. There is normally, if it's full, about 300 passengers. But because of COVID, they are restricting the number of passengers. On our cruise, there was 188 one week and 224 the next week.
Okay.
And there's not as much crew as there normally is either.
Okay.
So, they're trying to operate at kind of like 2/3 capacity,
Sure.
something like that, to try to keep it down. You have to take a COVID, even though you're vaccinated, you have to take a COVID test before you go. They give you another one while you're there. And they're able to say that everybody, is vaccinated and they're COVID free, at least when they get on the boat.
Right.
You have to wear a mask on buses because buses are used for the tours, but on the boat you didn't have to do that. The crew did. They had to have, like, in some of the stores now where they recommend that you wear a mask.
Yeah.
But most people aren't these days. When you're on the boat, it's up to you if you want to wear a mask. Most don't. But the staff always has masks on. So,
Okay.
they do try to be as safe as possible, and they're always spraying sanitizer all over the place.
That's the one thing I will say, even it all started with that Norwalk virus on the cruise ships, but I feel like every time you walk down a hallway, there's someone spraying sanitizer at you. It's like bullets.
No, it's right. It is all over the place.
But it's a good thing.
And they're always, cleaning
Wiping,
all the time. You can see that. And they do a major cleaning between cruises, too, when one group gets on and one group gets off. But a couple of things happen along the way to make our cruise a little bit more interesting, and that's quotes around the word interesting.
Interesting's a word.
It was actually tragic, to be honest.
Yeah.
On our second leg of the cruise, we're just left New Orleans, and our first stop is at Baton Rouge, the capital of Louisiana, about 60 miles up the river from New Orleans, something like that. Sometime in the middle of the night before we landed at Baton Rouge, and I don't know the genesis of this, but somehow it was known that somebody fell or jumped into the water. It was heard or seen, but they didn't know who it was. So in the middle of the night, we got a knock on our stateroom door at 3:40 a.m., and they wanted to know if everybody was in there and okay. This was a wellness check. That's all they said at the time. But what they were doing is they were checking everybody, crew and passengers, to see who was missing, because somebody saw or heard somebody go in the water just as we were getting into Baton Rouge.
Isn't that crazy?
And when they did all their checks, they determined that one male crew member was missing, and they believed that he fell into the water somehow and drowned. And so, I haven't heard a lot of news on this, but they were very open about what happened because they wanted to let people know.
Sure.
But
because if not, everybody starts chirping.
As of the time the cruise was ending, they had not reported any more news, but I believe they still had not found that person, presumed drowned.
Isn't that crazy?
In the Mississippi River. And of course, the crew, I think the crew that works landing the boat and all like that, it's just like the military. They have to be able to swim. They always have life vests on and whatever. But still, you're walking around on the bottom level, at water level, and you could slip and crazy things can happen.
Absolutely.
So that was, of course, a very tragic and sad thing that happened.
Yeah.
They shared the basic information with the passengers. And then here's another thing. There's an old saying when you cruise on the river, and maybe to a certain point, same thing when you're cruising on the ocean. The river rules. You don't rule. The river can be high and cause you problems. Maybe you won't be able to land someplace. Maybe it's too dangerous to continue on that route. Or in our case, on our cruise, the water was low, almost historically low levels on the Mississippi River. You could see along the shore where, it's soft and muddy, but the water's not there anymore. Normally the water is there. Because the water level was so low, two different things happened to us. We were not able to dock at St. Francisville on the way back up. That's why we went to Baton Rouge, which I like because we'd never been to Baton Rouge.
Right.
But they could not dock at St. Francisville because of the level of the water. Then, as we approached Memphis, we were at a place called Greenville, Mississippi, a small town in Mississippi. A lot of history did. It was almost destroyed in the Great Flood of 1927. When we got to Greenville, we could not go upriver from there, and that was the last leg of our journey on our return trip to Memphis. Just upriver from Greenville, a barge ran aground, once again because of the low water. Now, that's bad for the barge, but not necessarily bad for everybody else. However, another barge then hit it because it went whopper-jawed, and so even though So two barges hit each other. Nobody was killed, but a lot of damage. They were both grounded.
Oh,
They closed the whole river, just like, on the highway when there's a wreck, they close the highway. Boats could not go down the river or up the river. So on our last day, instead of landing at Memphis and driving from Memphis to Jackson, we got up at 3:30 in the morning. They bussed us from Greenville to Memphis, which is about 200 miles. And then we drove home from Memphis. And as it turned out, we stayed at Lexington, Kentucky because it was so late on Monday night and then got back on Tuesday. And then I was back here on Wednesday. So, but anyway, here's what I'd say. I don't get any commission from the American Queen, but I would recommend that trip to anybody. It's you can do it however you want. You can be very active. You can kick back and totally relax what you want, but you don't have to travel very far, not as far as you do for some vacations to have a great time. And you don't drive from Natchez to Vicksburg to New Orleans or whatever. You just float along the river.
Isn't that nice?
And get out. And
it's like magic. You just appear somewhere.
Once you're on the boat, I mean, it's heavenly. It truly is. It's a great vacation. I think it's good for families, good for couples, good for older people, all the way around. I can't see how anybody who would take that trip would not enjoy it. And my wife's already told me I'm going back.
Well, there you go. Hopefully with a little less excitement.
Right, exactly. So that was the vacation. It was very nice.
So what were some of the neat things that you got to see along the way? Because I know you and Pam are big sightseers. So
right. Well,
some neat things that you saw that maybe you hadn't before that would interest our viewers.
Right. Well, I tell you what, if you've never been to New Orleans, you've got to go. You've got to go. Well, how could that happen? A cosmopolitan girl like you?
But no, I've never been.
New Orleans, there's no city quite like New Orleans. I mean, it's known for the music and the Mardi Gras and the party thing. And it's true. We left, this was a different time when we were in New Orleans. When we were going out of town at 6 a.m. to catch a flight, they were still partying that night on Bourbon Street. They had not shut down
I don't think it ever ends, does it?
No, you don't have to be there for Mardi Gras to be at a party. But it is a very distinctive type city, nothing like it. And it's a beautiful city. I mean, it's got its seamy side too, in a way. But the entertainment, they call it the Big Easy for a very good reason. It is just a relaxing place to go party and have fun and just forget about life.
Love that.
It is a party town. It is the Las Vegas of the East, and there are casinos along the river now, so you don't even have to go to Las Vegas for that.
Yeah, Las Vegas, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's one of those places where you get on a plane in Columbus or Cincinnati or whatever, and you get off the plane in Las Vegas and you're just like, I have entered another dimension. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know where I am right now, but this is not America.
No, I know. Well,
it's just like...
Well, New Orleans, I guess it would be like Washington, D.C., like Las Vegas, New York City, in that it's one of a kind place to go. It really is. And, it's a good little trip all the way down there on the tip of Louisiana, but it's a lot of fun. I'm not a city person, but I really did like New Orleans, walking around in New Orleans and experience the French Quarter, the narrow streets. I mean, it really does go back into the 1600s, and it's almost like it was, only now there's neon signs.
And so lots of hurricanes.
So in
more ways than one.
Unfortunately, they do roll through there in Louisiana.
I was talking more about the drink.
We got to take a swamp tour, saw 45 alligators on one tour.
No, thank you.
And this is getting close to winter, so they're not even as active, but they're sitting there. And so that was a nice experience too. You got to make sure your hands are in the boat and everything. But that was nice. You get to experience the old Southern plantations, an old city like Natchez, Southern hospitality. They really are nice to you down there. Although it's not the Civil War, it's the War of Northern Aggression.
Heard.
That's what they call the Civil War. The war, but they're friendly. They're friendly. They've forgiven us. They've forgiven us Yankees.
They're like, hey, you Yankee, Yankee.
Right, and then Memphis, of course. On the other end of that route, one of the Music Cities USA, Beale Street. The Memphis people say that Beale Street is the most famous street in the world.
I can see that.
Forget Wall Street. Forget Main Street. Forget the Great White Way. and Broadway, it is Beale Street. And I got to walk Beale Street and see all the music places, go in there a little bit.
That's
Went
neat.
to Graceland, stood by Elvis Presley's grave, along with a million other people. Yeah. Graceland is really something. It is built up. It is an attraction. Lots of people. We were there kind of on a slow Monday, so it wasn't too bad at all. I've been there twice now.
Did you do the tour like inside and
Yes,
everything?
you do the tour inside, but there are 4 other museums. There's one that's got his cars, one that's got a bunch of the stuff he wore, stuff people he knew. It is really built up and very nice. And it's run by a private foundation. You know, I think Lisa Murray's got I think she sold off a part of it, but she's got a hand in it still. She still owns the house, I know, Graceland. And the house is something to see, and you think you're walking right through where Elvis Presley did all these things.
Yes.
You know where he entertained in his jungle room, where he built his own racquetball court in his house, where he housed all the many cars. He loved to buy cars, and he gave away cars. He bought cars and gave them to people. So he really was not worth as much money as you might thought at the time of his death, because he always had plenty of money, but he gave a lot of it away.
Can I tell you a story about Elvis giving people cars away?
Yeah.
So my uncle that Jen met briefly, or not the one with the robots.
The other uncle, yes.
I think it was his first wife was a nurse in Memphis when Elvis died.
Mm-hmm.
But she was at the hospital one other time when he was in the hospital for something and survived.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if it was her or one of her friends or something like that, but he bought the nurse a car, for caring for him when he was in the hospital.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but she couldn't afford the insurance and stuff on it, so she had to sell it. But yeah, Elvis bought her a car for caring for him when he was in the hospital.
Yeah, they told us a story.
That is nuts.
They told us a story about Elvis. He had a pink Cadillac that was one of his favorites, and a lady. He was coming out of a store in Memphis, and one of the ladies, of course, recognized him and says, "Oh, I just love your pink Cadillac, Elvis." And Elvis said, "Well, I tell you what, I love it too, and you can't have it, but go in there. There was a car dealership. Go in there and pick out one you want." And I mean, she didn't ask for a car. She just remarked how much she loved the pink Cadillac. And so, I mean, that's a real story. I mean, he was just that generous and kind of a person. And of course, he came up from very humble roots, of course, as well. But also, of course, I can't leave out Vicksburg. Vicksburg,
Sure.
One of the scenes of the great Civil War battles. I'm a history person and a Civil War buff. And so, they took you on a real nice tour there. You can do a tour yourself, but it is like a 16-mile loop. It's very big.
Oh, wow.
But, you see where all that happened. And, that to me, that's just fantastic to be able to have that. And Vicksburg is considered just as important to the outcome of the Civil War as Gettysburg is.
Okay. What was when you're touring a site like that, what is your feeling? What does it make you feel like?
I just try to envision what happened there that many years ago, and I'm standing on that ground. I'm standing on that ground where Grant was, where
That's just
where Pemberton was,
mind-blowing.
and the people in Vicksburg, the Union. If you don't know the history, the full history, the Union won that battle. They couldn't defeat the Confederates head on because the Confederates were entrenched on high ground, but they just ringed it, and it was a siege. And basically, they were eating dogs and cats and rats in Vicksburg. Even the residents were, and they were in caves underground trying to stay away from the Union shelling, and they finally had to give up on July 4th, and that was when the surrender occurred. And July 4th was such a black date in Vicksburg because of, and it's also the 4th of July, of course.
Right.
They would not celebrate the 4th of July until the 1950s in Vicksburg.
I could see that.
Right.
I mean,
Not that they were mad, it was just a sad thing that when that day came
you don't
around.
want to party on a day that's so very somber.
Right, exactly. So,
Wow.
it was a great vacation, but it was long enough, and I just love being back here with you.
Well, we love having you back, Pete. We missed you so much. And I know Phil Buffington. Did he give you a big hug and kiss when he saw you?
Well, I think he was glad that I was back, but I really appreciate what he and everybody else.
Yeah, everybody worked real hard.
Everybody else, when you're a small company, people have to pull together when people are away, even if they're away and playing like I was.
Well, we just know that you deserve a break, and we're so happy that you had fun. And even though it was a little exciting, more than you had anticipated,
Right. Well,
but we're glad.
I had to schedule my return so I could go to the DM Davis Christmas concert
That's
tomorrow night. I mean, I saw
correct.
when that was, and they even scheduled it on my birthday evening. So I mean, I can't.
They did. What a present.
I can't. Do more than that. Now they can't recruit me as a member because the great D. Merrill Davis himself tried to do that. When we were both members of the Methodist Church,
there he is.
and I knew better. You don't want me in the choir.
I don't know. We've heard you sing Oklahoma, and you did just
That's
a
the
fantastic job.
the only song that I can do, and I will never do it again.
Luckily, we have it.
Yeah,
on tape.
Luckily, I was going to say, luckily, we have video evidence of
okay,
it.
well now, James, just I'm the only guy who was in the high school plays, and they took out my songs. They let me play the part, but they took out my songs.
Oh, Pete, you were.
They were able to laugh at me, but they didn't want to hear me sing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your stories. And
Right. Now, maybe if you're lucky, I know both of these two people can sing. I'm
They
not trying
can
to set them
certainly
up, but
sing.
I know they can.
They certainly can. And thank you for coming in today, and also keep us updated on the what's going on there in Benton County as
If
well.
I find out something really important before the end of the hour, I'll let you know.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, and that's our good friend Pete Wilson. Let's head on over to the weather forecast so you know what's going on during the weekend. And you guys somebody will have to bring their own chair because, again, even though we're more high budget now, we're still low budget. So, but let's talk about your Total Media Radio weather forecast for a moment. And for today, it's looking like some rain in the forecast. Highs, though, around 61 degrees, and then lows only dipping down to about 51. For tomorrow on Saturday, looks like a little bit of rain in the forecast. Okay, 100% chance of rain in the forecast. I was trying not to say that, but it's like talking about it, so I can't get around it. Highs tomorrow, though, with the rain, 68 degrees, the middle of December. And then, but lows, look at that, dipping down to 28 overnight tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, looks like some sunshine in the forecast, highs of 46 and lows of 28. And then really not too bad, 50s and 60s for your work week next week. So there you go. He's back.
I'll just stand back here real quick. They don't mind.
Nope, we don't mind at all.
Okay, this is pretty important based on what we had said before. I just learned that the Vinton County High School is out of lockdown.
Okay, good.
There was a threat there, and they have apparently caught the suspect, they believe, who made the threat.
Okay, good. All right. We like to hear that. I mean, we don't like to hear that, but we like to hear that outcome.
Superintendent Rick Burrow.
And that's from the superintendent. Okay. Right out of the horse's mouth. There you go.
Nice results.
All right. Well, okay. So welcome back
Hi there.
to the new place.
Yeah, I really missed the cat when I walked in.
I miss the stairs.
I know. Everyone's like, oh, are there no stairs? I'm like, no. They're like, oh. I'm like, hey, that's your exercise for the day.
Where
Do
is
not
the cat?
complain.
Home?
My house. Yeah.
You should have brought him in today.
Should have.
Yeah, I missed him.
Yeah, that's right. But no, welcome. We have our good friend Rick here, and of course Deanna from the D. Merrill Davis choirs. And so you all have something fun going on tomorrow night.
We sure do.
You've been working hard, and it's back.
It's back.
Woo!
The
Spirit
two
fingers.
years.
Oh no, I don't know if that's a good thing or a threat. We haven't figured it out yet. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, our last concert before COVID was 2 years ago Christmas.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, so it's a great time to come back.
Oh, so wonderful. I bet you all are just ecstatic.
We are. We're really happy to be back together again and looking forward to entertaining everybody.
That's right. So, all right, let's talk about the actual concert itself tomorrow. And then I do want to talk about, a little bit about how y'all reconvened and all of that, because that had to be an adventure in itself. So, but give us the details of the concert tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening at the Marquet Theater here in Jackson at 7 p.m., we will be presenting Christmas in My Mind. And it's just our annual Christmas concert. Tickets, if you go online and get the tickets or buy them today at the Marquee, you can get them for $5.
That's it?
That's it. Great deal. At the door, they'll be $7. So save your money and purchase the tickets now.
Get that discount.
The proceeds are all the money goes to the Marquee. They are so gracious to host us, let us use their facility on a weekly basis to practice, and your ticket money will go back to the Marquee and support them. And they've had a rough time also with this COVID craziness, and so it's a great time to give back something locally.
And the tickets are so cheap that you could take the family and go
Sure.
to a nice restaurant in town and then come to the
Archimetti's
show.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. But yes, you certainly could. That's definitely affordable to take the whole family.
Right.
Yeah. And, so it'll help get you in the Christmas spirit, right? Because you will be singing, Christmas songs.
Absolutely.
So every year it's a different concert. You don't just do the same thing every year.
No, we don't.
So how do you come up with what you're going to perform?
Oh, that's a lot of fun. Actually, what we do, we actually have 3 directors, and then we have other people that give their input on what we like, what songs they would like us to do. But typically, I start about right now looking for my next season,
Okay.
and then as I will listen to hundreds of songs, and then I will pick out the songs that appeal to me, and then people like Deanna will text me back and forth, say, "Hey, did you hear this song?" And I really like it, and I have to, so I have to listen to them too.
He has to.
She's one of Rick's chicks, so therefore he listens.
But it's a process, and it's just to be quite honest, it's just songs that appeal to us, and that's
Sure.
we think that might fit our style of music, the people that we have to perform it, and there's a lot that goes into it. But it's quite a variety of music. I mean, whatever your particular music style is, we've probably got you covered.
Hey, love to hear that. That's so fun. So, all right, let's talk for a minute about who will be participating in this choir concert tomorrow.
Well, for sure, the estimable William C. Martin III, Esquire, will be narrating the story part of the
Love
of
that.
the show. Yeah, so I think he's really enjoyed being part of our group.
And he has such a fun, booming, powerful, commanding voice.
Yeah.
You don't get him to sing, though?
No, I don't think Bill's a singer. At least he says
He's
not.
just a talker,
Yeah, he's
a
just
blabber.
Yeah. He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. You have to. Okay, so there will be some narration by our good friend Bill Martin. Okay.
And the script was written by Deanna.
this year. Well, it was a 24-hour deal, so think about that when you're criticizing. But our usual script writer, he wasn't able to do it this year, and last minute.
Love it, though.
So
So
thanks, Rick.
we won't get into details. So, so the D. Merrill Davis men's and women's choirs will then be singing separately, and I assume together. I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So give us a little bit of a preview of what maybe people will get to hear. So it'll be some fun like pop songs and slower songs, maybe.
You get some religious and some secular, some
Okay.
fun secular, and some little more subdued secular, and
kazoos.
kazoos. Yeah.
Wait, you have kazoos?
Yep, one
we
song.
sure do.
One song we have kazoos.
That's it. If I could sing, I'd be there just for the kazoos.
I was in the Marquee the other night and I saw a kazoo sitting on the table, and it took everything in me to not pick it up.
I know. It's like you want to talk about harnessing your inner childhood. Like that is it for sure.
I suppose if you wanted to bring your own kazoo,
They could sing along with us, right?
Yeah. Or kazoo along with
You can kazoo along.
Or a comb and tissue will work too.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever it is, whistle, we don't care. Yeah. So, all right. So, what will people be able to see tomorrow night?
You want to go?
Well, they'll be able to see us. I don't know. Go ahead. Go, Brad.
Actually, I believe we have 21 songs.
Yeah.
Okay. There we
And
go.
They
21. That's a lot of songs.
a lot of music.
There's some
but
narration in there too.
the show will last probably an hour and a half,
Okay.
and we will have a lot of traditional Christmas songs that you would all know and love, and then there will be some songs that you've probably never heard before.
Okay.
And then we will.
There'll be an intermission in there too. So
There'll be an intermission.
Okay.
Our final song is a new song for us. This was actually written as a worship song, and then a lady got her hands on it and rearranged it and made a choir adaptation. But it's called "Behold Our God,"
It is beautiful.
and it's going to be kind of like the
Great.
climax. And then that will officially end the concert, but then we will do one more song, and that will be the Hallelujah Chorus, which has become a tradition that we would end our concerts with the Hallelujah Chorus. So,
Love that. Getting back to our, just our heritage here, it's so fun to see like the young kids coming up, and I think a lot of the schools, I don't know if it's because of COVID or whatever, are doing kind of Christmas programs with individual classes this year, or maybe individual grades and whatever. So I've gotten to get to meet some of the little the little ones that come in they come in to eat after their Christmas programs, and they're all dressed up in their little velvet dresses, and the little guys have on their little suits and whatever. But at the end of the day, I was talking to a young lady last night, and I don't know, she was probably 6 or 7, and she was just pumped that she got to, perform. And I was like, "What did you sing?" And she told me, and I asked her what her favorites were. And, it's so good that they get the kids, I think, involved so young here, because it does pay back to our heritage of our Welsh heritage and singing and the talents that we have here in our area for sure. But I love just to see them so excited.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we need to recruit those little.
I know. I guess that was kind of my point. Now, you all had worked on a children's choir at one point, and then, of course, the dreaded C word happened and
yes.
has kind of just blown everything out of the water.
Well, that's still out there, but not this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would like to revisit that at some time in the future.
It just seems like such a good idea.
Yeah, we're still having, even this season when we came back together, it's almost like reestablishing ourselves, reforming.
Correct.
We went for many years, and we just every year we would pretty much know we'd have the same people coming back, and then maybe add a couple.
Yes.
And we just kept growing and growing. This year we didn't get everybody back for various reasons.
Sure.
And so we did attract a lot of new people. And so it's almost been, you can't pick a football team and play the next day without a lot of practice. And this year it's been a season of trying to get to know each other.
Well, yeah.
How to blend the voices together. It's been a challenge, and then we might see people for 3 or 4 weeks, and then for various reasons or fears they may back out, and then a month later they may be back, and or who in the family has COVID and they don't feel like they can come out.
Sure.
And it's been a crazy year. And then to top it off, about 3 weeks ago, one of our directors unexpectedly had to go in the hospital and have a quadruple bypass.
Oh, no.
So that shifted a lot of responsibility around to different people. Dorothy Riepenhoff is a name that probably most people around this area knows, and she has graciously stepped into a director's role,
Oh,
and she's
wow,
going to
cool.
be directing part of the concert to fill in for the gentleman that is in the hospital now.
Okay.
So it's been a crazy year for us. It's been a crazy 2 years, but we are very happy to get back together.
And we got started a little bit late on starting our Christmas practice.
Started a little bit late, but
well,
everything's back together, and we're happy to be back together.
Good, and that's the main thing. And I don't think anyone cares whether it's perfect or whatever. Like, we're just all happy to be out and to celebrate the season and to be able to do some normal things,
Right.
Especially this time of the year. So, just have fun with it.
That's right.
That's kind of the theme I feel like that we all need to follow right now. But who would have thought when all of this happened that 2 years later we're still dealing with this junk?
2 weeks.
I mean, like, come on. Yeah, it's not even going to hit the United States. We're good. 2 years later. So just have fun with it. And, you do have to just ebb and flow and be flexible and trust me, I feel your pain because it has been a rough 2 years for all of us. And if anything, we've all learned to shift and pivot pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But as we're together, even in our practice, you almost get a feeling of something finally in your life being normal.
Yes.
That's well.
And it's just like a big warm hug, isn't
Right,
it?
it is.
Yeah.
It really is. And, for even in our practices, for 2 hours on a Tuesday evening, you kind of forget everything. You just pour yourself into the music and just you can forget everything else is going on around you that's just topsy-turvy or crazy.
Right.
So
We love that.
been great.
Love that. So, what was that? I was going to ask you something else, and now I forgot. Do we have any questions?
Well, I have a question. Is
Yeah.
there any live instrumentation in the show?
Ooh, kazoos!
Aside from the kazoo.
Hello.
Is that instrumentation?
We will have a gentleman from Chillicothe that's going to be playing the cello
Cool.
in one of our numbers. And then, of course, our
Wonderful,
pianist,
the
Stevie.
wonderful Stevie Jarvis. Yeah.
Stevie Jarvis will be playing.
What would we do
our
without
piano,
Stevie?
so.
Very, very good. I know what I was going to ask you. Are you accepting new members, or is it kind of shut off? Or
Absolutely, we always accept new members. It's kind of late now to be performed for the Christmas concert
Sure.
tomorrow night, but we will be after this concert. We'll be taking a short break. Let everybody enjoy the Christmas season with their
Yep.
family and everything. And then when is it?
I
January
think it's 11th.
11th?
I think so.
I think January 11th we will be starting back up, and
Okay.
it's open
that'd
to
be
anybody.
a good time then for someone to come in and join.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Open to anybody in the community or even surrounding communities.
There's no audition, so you don't have to be fearful that, we're going to make you stand there and, let us see what you got. So, and we have made such good friends, over the course of
Sure.
the years, so it's a nice social thing as well as,
Right.
and they say music is great for your health.
There you
So-
go. We all need some good health right now, right?
Yeah.
No, I think that's wonderful. And again, January 11th, listen, James and I were just having this discussion. Christmas comes so quickly, then it's over, and then it's like, now what? The weather sucks. It's ugly outside. There's nothing like, football's over. Like, what do we do? So this would be a perfect thing to give you something to look forward to,
Sure, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, if you enjoy music, enjoy meeting people, creating new friends, it's something that you would enjoy. To come out and join us. Again, as Deanna said, there's no audition. There's no
Fee.
you would never
there's-
be asked to pay any money to be in this group.
Okay.
It's just a time that you come out, forget your troubles, sit down, pick up some music, sing along, and just enjoy yourself.
Very good. And if you can't sing, just lip sync. It's fine.
Absolutely.
No, so again, when do you all practice? And because we do have the men's choir and the women's choir, and then of course you guys combine sometimes.
Right.
But so if you're a woman, when do you show up, and a man, when do you show up? And then
We
how's
do
that all work?
everything on Tuesday night.
Okay.
The ladies show up at 6 o'clock, or usually they start showing up about 5:30, and it's
That's so you can.
yeah, you got to.
No,
I mean, I'm not saying that right.
Well, we've got to get the seating taken care of so everybody has a place to.
Oh, that's what we're
park
calling it
themselves.
these days. Arranging chairs.
The ladies will start singing about 6 o'clock.
She's
and
gonna
then-
kill me.
And then about 10 till 7, the men will start wandering in, and from 7 to 8, the men and ladies sing together,
Okay.
and then
When
the
we are
ladies
singing together
and
before a show.
right,
Yeah.
but. And then about around 8 o'clock, then the ladies will dismiss themselves, and then it'll be the men from 8 to 9 by themselves.
Okay.
So we wrap everything up in one evening.
Very good. So you just show up, and if you want to participate,
Show up, we'll throw some music in your lap and tell you where to sit, and you'll have a good time.
very good. I love this.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. And again, what the heck else do you have to do in January, right? So join, have some fun, meet some new awesome people. So, yeah, I think that's great. So, all right, let's talk. We have a few minutes left. Let's talk for a few minutes about, again, what's going on tomorrow night. So, in case anyone tuned in late.
Go for it. I'm
Well,
the
at
first
7 o'clock at the Marquee, Christmas in My Mind. We certainly hope that, we so appreciate all the support that the community has given the choruses and the Marquee. And we thank the Marquee, of course, for, allowing us to practice there every Tuesday. But we do hope that we have a lot of people in the audience, so come on out and
Yes.
spend a little Christmas with us.
Sing along.
Sing
Yeah,
along.
sing along, sure.
Laugh at us.
Kazoo
It's okay.
along. It's fine.
Kazoo along.
Point and
Yeah.
giggle. They don't care.
Yeah. I don't know whether Rick will probably, pop me one for this, but if people might have an idea, for what they want to hear us do, for Christmas.
Yes.
I had somebody say to me, which when you said you don't do the same thing every year, I think that would be pretty boring myself.
It would be.
But I don't know whether people would like to maybe have a little sing along, with the audience,
Yes.
participation, or if they just enjoy, hearing us do our thing. But it is our show after all.
We can do what we want, but no, I think that's fun. You could do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So, but I hope that in January that people, will start getting some, a lot of new people, and next Christmas we'll have a bigger.
Yeah, we had a really great response this season with the ladies, especially. The men, we're down on with the men. We've been struggling with numbers this whole season for whatever reason with the men. So
Well, everything's still weird.
It
You know,
really
it's
is.
just weird.
Well, and it doesn't just have. You don't have to live in Jackson, or even Wellston or Oak Hill. I mean, we have people come from West Virginia,
Sure.
Gallipolis,
Waverly.
Athens,
Waverly,
Waverly,
Athens.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, we're not that far away from anybody as far as that's concerned. So,
That's true.
yeah, just come on and join us. We have a good time.
Yes. Do you feel like D. Merrill is there with you
Sometimes.
when you're singing?
Of course, Rick unfortunately did not know D. Merrill.
Oh, my goodness.
But he reminds me a lot of him as far as the showmanship is concerned, because I can remember in high school, there he is right there.
Yes.
Um,
D. Merrill Davis.
I mean, you just felt so proud,
Wonderful man.
when you were doing your show, because you knew it was going to be right, because
Yes.
he made sure it was right. You did have to audition for him, though, as I remember. But so
Yes. No, I think that the fact that we just had the carol sing at the high school, the D. Merrill Davis carol sing, and so many other things.
and how many years has that been going on? My gosh.
The actual carol sing is, what did Pete say, 79 years? I think it was 79 years, but I'm not sure when they named it the D. Merrill Davis carol sing, but
But
many,
it
many
always
years ago.
was.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, it always has been. Even when I was in high school and whatever, I mean, he was part of it even when he wasn't part of it. I mean, that was just his legacy, and something really neat to do, to gather folks around when they were feeling down because of war, and get the community together, allow them to sing together, and
It does make you wonder if he's kind of smiling down on us.
That's what I'm
He
wondering.
certainly should be very honored, that we've kept his name.
That's right, and so proud of people continuing on his legacy. So that's so good. Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to tell the viewers about while you have 2 minutes?
I think we're about talked out.
I find that hard to believe.
Just come out tomorrow.
Yes, please do.
Relax, sit back. As they say, enjoy the show.
That's right.
And just, like I said, it's money well spent. Again, all proceeds go to the Marquee. But it'll be a nice night for yourself, your family, friends, just sit back and, for a couple hours, just sit back and forget your troubles and just absorb some of the season. It's a great start to the holiday season.
Yeah, it is, and let that let the Christmas spirit ooze.
Right.
Let
It's
it
hard
go.
to believe it'll be 2
We need
weeks.
that.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it.
I think we all need it, It was like last year. I mean, there were so many. I mean, I know that we didn't even really get together with the family because things were really bad last year at this time. And so hopefully we can get back into it and do some normal stuff.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, and thank you for having us on.
Oh,
Yep.
you are welcome anytime. You know that. Don't you think, James, that they should come in and sing sometime?
I think that the two of them and Pete Wilson should all sing Oklahoma.
You should.
Well, we should bring some of our
Right? You should have heard if you would like Pete Wilson's rendition. We got a few bars
It was
of
top
Oklahoma.
notch.
It was not much, but it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I need to see that video.
You do. Everyone does. We need to find that. How would we find that?
I think I can probably find. I was hesitant to post it by itself because I didn't want to embarrass Pete, but he was so good.
It was so
Yeah.
good. We'll find it.
How
get
can
it
you
to
sing
you.
Oklahoma and then say I can't sing?
That was kind of our point. Is he belted it out and then he was like, "That's the only song I can sing," and I was like, "I don't believe that for a second."
Maybe the only song you learned to sing.
Yeah,
not the
that's-
only
that
song
could-
you
that
can
could be.
sing.
There's a lot of voice behind that. So, well, thank you for spending
Thank
your
you.
morning with us. Get on out to the Marquee tomorrow night, 7 p.m. You can get those tickets now by calling the Marquee box office, or I think you can get them online as well. $5 today, $7 at the door.
Yeah, I think they're in the box office today too. So if you're just walking by, just
Right.
make the turn, and
Yeah,
Run
I think
in.
somebody said
Run in.
from noon to 5.
I think
Noon to 5, and you can see Matt Wilson's really fun art exhibit while you're in there.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked very, very nice.
Yeah, very talented local young artist, and love that. All right, well, I guess that's it for the day. James, do we have anything else to do? Okay, he says no.
All right.
He has to keep me in line.
Okay, are you coming?
I'm going to be out of town. I'm
Oh.
sorry. If I were not out of town, I would be there. I promise.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
All right.
have a wonderful day,
Okay,
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, you too. Merry Christmas. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. We appreciate you so much, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will be back here on Monday. Do we have any guests on Monday, James?
I don't remember.
We don't know. We'll be back here on Monday.
The guest that's really exciting for next week, I believe it's the Wellston High School Drama Club. Yeah, and they are doing The Lion King.
What?
And so some of the members of the Wellston Drama Club will be here on Wednesday. So that's exciting. Look
That's
forward
going
to
to
that.
be fun. Maybe we'll get a visit from Simba.
Yeah, I think Simba and Pumbaa are coming.
Nice. All right. We look forward to that. Well, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Some warm weather in the forecast, so get out and do some things outside. I know a little rain there too, but at least it will be enjoyable temperature-wise. So we will see you back here on Monday. Be safe. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.